What up, everybody? It's your boy Avell did it back with another one. However you got here, whether you already subscribed to the channel, whether I popped up on your news feed, whether somebody told you about me and you checking me out for the first time, however you got here was meant for you to be here, so I appreciate it. Before I get started, if you can hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for the content. You did it? Cool. Shouts out to everybody who keep hitting that hype button, subscribe button, liking, sharing the content. I truly appreciate it. So, to everybody out there, thank you. All right, who we got up? We got one of Julio Foolio shooters up right now.
What?
Yeah. So, as everybody know, the youngsters, the YNs who were responsible for the unaliving of Julio Foolio have been convicted, and now they're in court for the penalty phase. And what that means is I didn't know they do this, but during the penalty phase, I guess because they are facing the death penalty, they get people to come up on the stand and talk about, their life pretty much. And this guy right here is the one that has the girl pregnant. He's a youngster. He's barely 20, 21 years old, and he decided to take the stands to try to fight for his life.
What?
Yes. Let's hear what he got to say.
Mr. Gathright, you've heard people speak here today on your behalf and yesterday, and I know that you wanted to address the court and the jury. So I would like to ask you what you want the jury to know.
I just want to address the court today, and, I'm not here to dispute anything. I'm just here to be a man and take responsibility and express my feelings about this whole situation. That's what I plan on doing.
Okay.
Look at him, y'all. You see how it is? Y'all YNs, y'all really pay attention. He's on the stand looking like he a pretty boy right now. They gonna definitely like them waves up in prison. Oh yeah. But the point is just a year ago, you seen him acting all hard, doing all kind of antics we seen with videos of him in jail. And, facial expressions looking crazy like he this hardcore dude in court. But now that he's convicted, look what happens to you guys. You put on a turtleneck. You see what I'm saying? You put on a turtleneck and you sit with your arms crossed and you try to look as innocent as possible to take back something to try to be innocent for something you can't take back. You help take someone's life. Jail will do that to you. It makes him so remorseful now. Let's continue.
And how do you feel? What?
I feel very remorseful.
I bet.
This is a terrible situation. It's been a traumatic experience.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. So, how old were you when you were arrested?
I was 18 years old.
We heard that you had started some college, obviously probably didn't get very far, right?
Right.
What have you done since you've been in jail? Is there programs? Are there things that you can do there?
So, I've gotten into programs. I've also, I grew up, in church and, in a Christian household. So I refocused my, life to Christ, and, I've taken a lot of religious programs. I've read the Bible from cover to cover. I've tried to, share some word, and, we have prayer circles in the jail and stuff like that. I've led a couple, prayer circles, and I've tried to, kids around my age or, younger, since I'm 20 years old now, when you turn 18, you go to the adult pods and stuff like that. So if I see somebody who I see, has a lot of potential and has a chance to keep them from, you know, basically being able to be corrected at this opportunity and not come back, I try to take them under my wing.
Oh my God. Y'all hear this dude right here?
What?
He said he done read, he been in, what is this, 2026? Been in jail a couple years. He said he done read the Bible twice since he been in jail.
What?
He's helping mentor the kids his age. You see what jail do to y'all YNs? All y'all out here on y'all videos showing your blicks, talking about your enemy, talking about what you gonna do to who and all of this. And look, this is gonna be your future. This is gonna be your future if you keep down the road you're going down. I know you guys keep hearing it, but I keep giving you guys this example because you need to see it. Here it is. He's a good Christian kid now. Just a year ago, he was a gangster, unaliver. Now he's a good Christian kid that tries to help stir kids in the right direction that's doing the exact same thing he did. Let me ask y'all a question. There's no chance he's ever getting out. Right now, he's only saying this to fight for his life, to get life in prison and not the unalive penalty, right? So, once they come, let's say for any reason, they say, okay, we're not going to unalive you. We're going to give you life in prison without the possibility of parole. Do you think he's going to have this same attitude during his, after his sentencing? Do you still think he's going to be reading the Bible every day? And he's going to be doing all of this miraculous stuff he's talking about he's doing it? No! It's two things is going to happen. He's either going to grow his hair out, and he's going to be put on some makeup, and he's going to be one of them prison girls. Because he sound real soft right now. Or he going to continue down the road he was continuing down when he was out there organizing to kill Julio Foolio. Let's just keep it real. Let's continue.
As you see, I have a lot of resources and a lot of family that love me, and they've even, asked me, like, hey, is there anybody in there who doesn't have somebody like that, who, could we send them some money, like, anything like that. So I've tried to, be a vessel for God to pour over my blessings into those around me.
We heard from Mr. Bonasco, who said that, in prison that there is opportunities at times to be a mentor, or do orientations and peer-to-peer things like that. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Of course, I definitely want to, try my absolute best to course correct anybody from falling down a path that they don't have to take, especially the youth. I feel like that's my calling that God has put on my heart to, be a mentor to the youth and be a positive influence in this world.
Are y'all buying this? Are y'all really buying this? Maybe he did get scared straight in jail, because I don't think he's in the full prison system yet, but he's in there with the big boys. I don't get the vibe like I believe anything he's saying. He would have been a good actor. He would have been. Why didn't he take acting classes or something? Because he would have been a good actor. And here it is. He got this girl pregnant. She's in jail. He's fighting for his life. I honestly think because of his age, he's barely 20 years old. Because of his age, or 21, about to be 21, but because of his age, I think they will give him life in prison without the possibility of parole, which, that's what he's fighting for. I think they'll give it to him. Little light-skinned dude ready to cry on the stand. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take his age into consideration, I think. And because he did take the stand and he's sitting here saying all of these miraculous things, he's saying the right thing. I think he might get life without parole. Let's continue.
What about those relationships? Like you said, you have a lot of people. Are you able to maintain those relationships now?
Yes, so, I mean, everybody who I, maintain a relationship with wasn't able to all be here today or, even testify. But, I talk to them daily, weekly, bi-weekly. I cherish my supporters very deeply.
What?
And I want to maintain a relationship with them for the rest of my life.
And I know, we're not gonna talk about the case itself, right? But you said that you
Why not?
were taking accountability, you felt remorseful. Tell us what you mean by that and what statement you wanna make.
To the victim's family, I want to send my deepest condolences and I understand that it's hard losing a child, a best friend, a brother, a cousin, and for that I just cannot say sorry enough. I feel terrible about the situation, but I'm a firm believer that God can use anything for good that the devil wants it for bad. And so I am grateful for the people I've met, for the lessons that I've learned, for just this experience in general, because it's one that I'll never forget, and it's going to shape the rest of my life.
Sounds like
Y'all hear what he said? This is something he'll never forget, and this is something that'll shape his for his whole life. Of course, motherfucker. You in jail. Of course it's gonna shape your life, and you never gonna forget it because you took someone's life. You organized it, you planned it, and you thought you was gonna get away with it, and you didn't. And because of your stupidity, your mom, Julio mom, and family members have to suffer. And I don't feel sorry for you. I don't think I mean, you so young, I see you are influential, but you made your decisions, man. I'm a firm believer in don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And apparently he can't do the time. So he shouldn't have did the crime. But now that you have, you gotta face the consequences, buddy. Let me hear you fight for your life a little more.
there's that saying, it's kind of cheesy, but you make lemons out of lemonade or whatever. Make
Lemonade out of lemons.
Somehow, I obviously don't make lemonade, but it sounds to me like you are going to try and make the best of a bad situation. Does that sound about right?
Of course.
And are you going to continue to do that?
Of course. I'm going to try to, continue a humble life, a righteous life, try to do the right things at all times. And,
Will you apprise yourself? We've heard about some, courses and programs and things that you can get involved with to stay busy in prison. Is that something that you plan to do?
Yeah, so hearing Raul's testimony was, the first glimpse that I have of, what prison it could be like. I want to stay as busy as possible, stay away from bad apples. I want to, keep a job, get into programs, try to get into any vocational things I can do, try to, keep my record clean to, go to the best incentivized things and have visits with my family. And, I just want to just stay out the way, just want to make everything, peaceful as can be.
Even knowing that you're not getting out of prison, you want to make the best of your stay there?
Of course. I mean, who wouldn't? If you're going to be somewhere for the rest of your life, why would you make your life a living hell?
And you're young, right? You're 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Stay.
Now, there go his mom, y'all. And his mom is sitting here crying, and we can't blame his mom for being, upset. But she has to understand, I hope she understands the severity of what her son has caused Julio's mom. And I just don't think this kid fully grasps what he did, but he's gonna fully grasp the consequences. So they're making it understood. He knows he's never getting out, but we can never say never because he's 20 years old. So I know he probably understands. Yeah, they saying never, but I'm 20, maybe 30 years from now, 40 years from now. But no, I don't want to see this kid ever get out. People that plan robberies and unalivings like that. Once somebody's life is taken, and the way they did it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue.
You would agree with me that Charles Jones was young too, wasn't he?
Yep.
Relatively young, yes, sir.
26, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what the evidence showed us, correct? You were sitting here watching that, correct? The evidence that came in over the last several weeks?
I was right there.
Yeah. And you want to take accountability now, correct? You want to take accountability now that this jury has found you guilty, correct?
Yes, sir.
Weeks after we went through a trial. Is that your testimony?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
You indicated this was a traumatic experience. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you just testified to, correct?
That's what I said.
Look, his whole demeanor changing now that he's getting questioned. Whole demeanor changing. I could see the YN coming out, ready to come out. He anxious. How he moving around.
We just have one moment, Your Honor. I'm trying to get the all know.
Yes.
Ooh.
Really young when this happened, wasn't he?
I didn't know how old he was.
Early 20s, 22. Would that surprise you?
No, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Gino Norris, who's not a gang member, who's Charles Jones' friend from the time they're children.
What's the legal basis?
The facts of the case.
Okay. Come on up, counsel.
He put it in his face. You gotta sit there and take the truth, young buck. You said you sorry. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Y'all YNs, y'all take heed to this, because this is going to be y'all if you don't stop what you're doing. You're going to be in a courtroom with a bunch of white people ready to give you your fate for the rest of your life. For what? For some Instagram beefs because somebody was over in this hood or that hood or said something online or you had sex with this girl. Y'all gotta cut it out, man. Y'all gotta cut it out. Because once again, this will be your fate. Sitting in that box, nervous as hell, confronted with all of the bad stuff you done did in the few years of your life. Just to wind up with a celly, and you better hope you don't look cute like him, because your celly might put a wig and some lipstick on you if you ain't got the heart. So there it is there, y'all. He fighting for his life, not his freedom, because we know that's gone. And I want to know down below, do you guys really, really believe that he's been rehabilitated in 2 years? I want to know what y'all think down below. That's all the time I got for this topic. Please make sure you guys hit that hype button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And y'all already know I'm gonna be back with some more reaction videos, some more news. So I'm definitely gonna catch y'all on the next one. Alright?